Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. In today's video, we are going to learn about ACOS function in Salesforce, and we are going to learn this concept for both Salesforce Lightning as well as a classic interface. So let's proceed and firstly discuss what does we mean by ACOS function. So here the ACOS function is one of the mathematical function of a Salesforce. This ACOS stands for R cosine, and this a for cos function is used to calculate the inverse of a cosine of a given angle or a value. It is used when we perform a trigonometric calculation or we need a values in radians. And additionally, you can say that this a cos function always return a value in radians or a degree, and it range between 0 to pi in radians and 0 to 180 in degree. So let's proceed and see the syntax of this ACOS function in Salesforce. So the syntax is given on your screen, and here we pass the number field and formula as a parameter in the value for which we wish to determine the inverse of a cosine, and the value specified in the parameter can be a field, a numeric constant, or a formula. Always remember that this function takes a numeric values. So now let's proceed and learn how we can use this ACOS function to calculate the inverse cosine value in Salesforce Lightning. So firstly, you need to log in into your Salesforce account, and once you logged in, make sure that you are in a Lightning interface. If you are not in the Lightning one, firstly redirect yourself to the Lightning, and most of the time we will redirect it to the home page of a particular application or the default home page that we have set down, and we are not on the main home setup page. So if you are getting a page like this that is visible on your screen right now, you need to click on the gear icon given on the top right side, and from here you need to click on the setup option. Once you click on this setup option, it will take you to the main home setup page of the Lightning interface. And once you get the screen that is visible on your system right now, you will are on a main home setup page. You can see that here it is written. Okay, now here on the top of the navigation bar we have a object manager tab. You need to click on that, and once you click on that, it will take you to the object manager page where you will get the list of all the objects that are in a Salesforce. On the right side we have a quick find box. You can search for the object on which you want to apply the ACOS function right now. So I am going to show you the example for the opportunity object. So I search for the opportunity, and here I get the opportunity options. Though I click on this opportunity label, once I click on that, it redirects me to the object manager opportunity page specifically. And on the left side we have a fields and relationship option, and I click on that as I want to use the ACOS function on that, and it is done while creating a new field. So once I click on that, it will shows me the fields that we have in this opportunity object, and here we have a new button for creating up the new field. I click on the new one because we need to create up the formula field, as it contains the functions that we are going to use right now. So here we get a first step of choosing a field type, or you can say a data type. So as I told you, this ACOS function is visible on the formula subtab, advanced formula subtab. So we need to choose up the formula as a data type, or you can say a field type, and then you click on the next one. Once you click on a next, it will take you to the next page where you need to choose up the type, and here we have to enter up the field label, and the field name will be automatically populated based upon the field label. So here I am going to enter the field label as a commission rate. So let's type here on a field label, and you can see that once I click on the name, it automatically populated. Now it's time to choose up the data type for the field for which you want to calculate the inverse cosine value, or the return data type, you can say that, as you know that it returns a value in a numeric or depends upon the formula that you are creating. So my field name is a commission rate, and I want to be answered in numbers. So I click on the number as a formula return type. By default its decimal place is set to the 2. If you want to change, you can change it also. Otherwise, click on the next button and proceed to the next step. And in this next step, you have to enter up the formula in the advanced formula tab by using the ACOS function, as we want to compute the inverse cosine value. and determine the salesperson's commission rate. Okay, so for that, let's create up the formula. So here I am going to use firstly the if function. So here I click on the all function category, move to this logical one. Here I get the if one. I click on it and select, then click on the insert selected option. Now I am going to erase this parameters of the if function and place it with our requirement one. So now I again click on the function category. From here I click on the math section. Here I get the ACOS function. I click on that and it will show me the option of insert selected function. I click on that. You can see that it written as it returns the r cosine of the number in a radians if the given number is between -1 and 1, otherwise it gives you a null value. Okay, so here I enter the ACOS function. Now I am going to change up the parameter. So here I enter the parameter as a field name. So I click on the insert field button and from here I search for the salesperson angle. Here it is. I click on it and insert it, and now I want to set it as a greater than and pass a list of values as 0.5 and then 0.15 and otherwise 0.10. Okay, so basically in this formula we are calculating the salesperson commission rate using the inverse of cosine function, that is a cosine, and we are checking that if a angle is greater than 0.5 radians, the commission rate become a 15%, like a 0.15. Otherwise the commission rate is set to the 10%, you can say a 0.10. So to check that whether it is correctly written or not, you need to click on the check syntax button. Once you click on that, you can see that there is a no error. It is a syntax is correctly written and there is a no syntax error in it. If you want to add a description and a help text, you can add it, and even you can handle the blank fields if you want. After that, you need to click on the next button and proceed to the next step. And in this next step, you need to set up the field level security. Here you need to choose up the fields to whom you want to grant the edit access of this field via field level security. And if the field if you don't select up any profile, the field will be hidden from that particular profile. Here we have two columns, visible and the read only. You can provide a visible access and the read only access according to your requirement. After it, you need to click on the next button, and in the last step you need to choose up the page layout on which you want to add this field. Basically here we are selecting up the page layout that include that field, and the field is added as the last field in the first two column section of these page layout. And if you don't select the page layout, the particular field is not visible on that page layout. So after selecting all such things, you need to click on the save button. It successfully created up the formula with the help of ACOS function that calculate the inverse cosine value. And now if you want to check whether it is correctly working or not, for that I am going to open up the one new setup, and here I am opening the opportunity. So here I click on the app launcher, going to search for the opportunities. Once I get, opening one random opportunity and edit it to show you the result of the formula that we have created up with the help of ACOS function. Moving to the detail section, here I have a salesperson angle. Now I am going to set it to the 0 and save it. You can see that it gives the result as a 0.15. So with this, we have successfully learned up how to use the ACOS function to calculate the inverse cosine value in Salesforce Lightning. Now we are going to calculate the inverse cosine value in Salesforce Classic with the help of ACOS function. So for that, we firstly need to redirect ourselves to the Classic interface. I click on my profile and then I click on the switch to a Salesforce Classic option. Once I click on that, it will redirect me to the Classic interface. Now here I need to click on the setup option that is given on the top right side. Once I click on that, it will open up the setup page for the Classic interface. Now I scroll down and here you can see that on the left side bar we have a build section. Under it we have a customize drop down. I expand it and under this we have a standard objects. Now it's time to choose up the object where you want to use the ACOS function. I am going to show you the example for the cases. I extend the cases drop down, and here I get an option of a fields. I click on that, and once I click on that, it will take me to the page where I will get the fields that are of a case or object. And here by scrolling down, you will get a section of a case, custom fields and relationship, and here we get a button of a new. You need to click on that, as we are going to create up the formula field on which we are going to use of the ACOS function, as the functions are a part of the formula field type. So here we have a formula field type, or you can say a data type. You need to click on the radio button next to it, and after that you need to click on the next button. Once you click on the next button, it will take you to the page where you need to choose up the output type and set up the field label, and the field name will automatically populated based upon the field label that you have entered up. So I am going to show you for the customer satisfaction. So I am going to enter the field label as a customer satisfaction, and once I click on the field name, it automatically populated. And from the formula return type, we need to choose up the data type who will set up with your formula as a return value. So I am setting as a number 1, so I click on the radio button. By default the decimal place is set to 2. I remain it as it is. Then I click on the next button to proceed to the next step. Now in this we have to create up the advanced formula by using the ACOS function that calculates the inverse cosine value, and in this case I am going to show you the example that calculate the inverse cosine value of the customer satisfaction based upon the customer feedback using the ACOS function. So firstly I need ACOS function for that formula. So I click on the all function drop down that is given on the right side. Here I click on the math as a section, and here I get a ACOS function. I select it, and under it I get a option of insert selected function. I click on that. It adds the function to the box that is given under the advanced formula. I erase the parameter, and here I am going to insert the field. So I click on the insert field button. I scroll down, and here I get a option of feedback rating. I click on that. I insert it, and after that I need a division operator. I click on the insert operator button, and here I have a divide operator. I click on that, and after that I want to divide it with the 10, so I add the value as a 10. Now to check whether it is correctly written or not, I click on the check syntax button. You can see that there is a no syntax error. This formula calculates the customer satisfaction using the ACOS function, and for this I am calculating the inverse cosine, the ratio, by dividing the customer feedback rating by the 10. And if you want to add a description and help text, you can add it, and even handle the blank fields if you want, and treat it as a 0 and the blank fields according to your requirement. Then I click on the next button. Once I click on the next, it takes me to the next step where I can set up the field level security for this particular field, and select up the profile to which you want to grant the edit access to this field. And if you don't select the profile, it will not get this field for the accessibility of permission of visible and the read only. Once you set up all such things, you need to click on the next button, and in the last step you need to choose up the page layout on which you want to include this field. By default all the page layouts are selected. If you want to unselect any of them, you can unselect it and click on the save button. Once you click on the save button, it successfully save up the formula that you have created using the ACOS function, and that calculate the inverse of cosine value. Now it's time to check how it's working. So I click on the cases from the navigation bar given on the top, and here I get multiple cases. Now I'm going to show you how it's work by editing any of the case. So here I'm going to edit one of the case. So I click on the edit option, and here I get a edit one. I'm going to add a feedback rating as a 8 and click on a save. Once I click on the save, you can see that it gives the customer satisfaction as 0.64. Okay, with this we have successfully learned how we can use the ACOS function to calculate the inverse cosine value in Salesforce Classic. So with this, our today's topic ends here. We have learned here about the ACOS function of a Salesforce, and we have learned the steps to use it in a Salesforce Lightning as well as a classic interface in the formula field. If you like this video, click on the like button and also subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. Thanking you for watching and have a great day.